welcome to BPM Microsystems. I'm joined by Jim Halava, who's the Global Sales Director. Nice to see you again, Jim.
Nice to see you, Trevor.
Yeah. So, since the last time we spoke, in fact, the last time we spoke, you gave me a demonstration of your WhisperTeach. We've kind of improved that. We've got WhisperTeach Plus now. Tell me a little bit about that and how it operates.
Yeah, so our goal is to reduce the reliance on the operator and all the critical teach actions. So an operator has to set up a machine. They have to teach both X, Y, and Z to get the job started. And it's critical they get that Z height correct. And that's where we came into WhisperTeach, teaching the Z height automatically. So we can teach that Z height down to 15 microns. So that's been a really good success for us.
Is it the height that's important or the pressure?
The height's important. You don't want any pressure on the device itself. So when we see what operators actually do in teaching a device for the Z height, they're either too far up or they're coming too far down on the device. Too far down could damage the device, and too high up could cause pick and place issues. And when we trace back most of the issues with a job that didn't run well, it's usually traced back to the teach. So now WhisperTeach Plus carries that on to teach X and Y as well. So the operator really just has to put one reference device in a socket. The machine knows where all the other sockets are, and it's going to go through and teach the rest of the job. So it'll teach the first 4 sockets in the programming site, right? And that site will start to program, so the job actually starts. So that washes out some of the setup time, reducing the time to set up the job, and it doesn't involve the operator. All he's done is hit that first device, and the job will automatically start.
So does that make the system fully automatic?
It is to the point where we're teaching the sockets. They still have to know where the workflow is. Am I going to put in for tape and reel and out to tape and reel? Am I going to laser mark? So there's some things that they have to set up, but it's that critical X and Y and Z teach that we take the operator out of, trying to reduce that reliance on the operator to get it right.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about device programming. I mean, is it one of these areas where there's a lot more devices needing programmed? There's a lot more data having to go onto these devices. What's the current landscape?
Yeah, what we're seeing is more devices on every board. The complexity of the devices is increasing, and the amount of data that's going on each device is also going up. So what we're seeing is more devices that were programmed in circuit, that people are looking for ways to reduce that bottleneck, because they have more devices on every board and more data. That becomes the bottleneck in the production. And we find once they look at doing it offline, they see, okay, we have one way, one software, one hardware process to do all our device programming, and they start moving everything to the offline process.
Okay, great. So it keeps getting faster all the time. You're up to 1,432 devices per hour.
Yeah, so that's a new number for this 3000 series machine. This is our 3910. And that can do up to 1,432 devices an hour. So that makes it a very competitive machine. If you have a programming time, a lower programming time, and just 1 or 2 programming sites, this machine can outproduce some of the bigger machines on the market. Right. So it makes it very cost competitive in that area of the market.
Right. Okay. Well, it's always good to see that continue to innovate. What do you think is coming next? Are you looking forward to a busy 2019?
Yeah, absolutely. We're seeing growth in all sectors, particularly with security, and also automotive, of course, is a big spot for us. The autonomous driving, that's driving a lot of business for us, and we're seeing a lot of new applications for security that look like they're going to be driving a lot more offline. Again, where it becomes more complex, too complex to do it in circuit. They need to move it offline and insert those roots of trust in the programming offline before it gets on the board.
Great. Okay, well, thank you for bringing us up to speed on the latest machine, Jim. Nice to catch up with you again.
Yeah, good to see you again, Trevor. Thank you.